Let me do your hair. Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Hey, let me do your hair. Come on, let me do you guys' hair. Let me do you guys' hair, please. As my son used to say, P honey, please let me do your hair. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys know what time it is, right? That's right. It's that time of the day. That's right. It's time for America's favorite, and I do mean America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. We're talking about the dumbest that people say about black hair. Y'all know who it is, right? It is me, your homegirl Ladosha, right? AKA Key and Lolo. And then right over here, y'all know who it is, right? It is Cheryl Morrow, AKA the Hair Oracle, and we are so glad to be in the house. We are officially on our 105th episode, and so tonight we are having a very interesting discussion. I brought some here. Hold on, wait a minute, y'all. Wait, because I want y'all to see this. Wait a minute, it fell on the floor. Okay, so we're gonna have a wonderful discussion about some weave. We're gonna talk about some synthetic hair, and then we're gonna talk about some human hair. Now, this does say, just to get you guys going, this says 100% human hair. So if that's human hair, I want to know what is this I have on my head. So I want to get to the bottom of this. So we're going to take you guys on a wonderful, wonderful journey of just what's going on with some of this hair thing. Cheryl is laughing. I'm telling y'all it's going to be good tonight. So stick around because we're just gonna go there. We're gonna go there. I have to admit, it is no big secret that Key Lolo is not well versed in hair weave or weaveology or weave slang, added hair. But tonight, hopefully, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. I have some great clips about weaves and all this other good stuff. I think you guys are gonna enjoy. But with that being said, sure, what's happening in your neck of the woods? What's going on in sunny California?
It's cloudy today, actually.
It's calm here. It's calm there.
It's no blue. It's all white.
It's all white, huh? No Trumpsters. Ain't no Trump people out there saying, don't prosecute Trump. Don't prosecute Trump. Donald Trump is, he all over the news today. I'm gonna say it once and I'm gonna say it again. I just find it.
We have got to be like really the laughing stock. I mean, one of our presidential candidates is like in court.
I mean, here's the thing that
no
saying like this is unnecessary and
no standards.
Why
y'all just run, please?
Why they wait until right before it was time for him, to run for office, and then they want to put like who's really like waking up in the morning like, let's F with Trump today? No, and didn't Nixon do something with that? Like, I think when Nixon got in trouble with the Watergate, y'all remember that? And Nixon was like, y'all ain't gonna prosecute me until I get out of office. So Nixon was, trying to move all stuff around. I think that stuff is still standing. So I think Nixon kind of rigged it up for the future butt wipes in the cabinet. I could be wrong. I'm no historian, but I kind of remember just watching some of those old, interviews about Nixon. So, but I'm still just not quite understanding how are church folks standing behind a man who allegedly, allegedly was sleeping with a porn star who, while his wife was at home with a brand new baby.
I just don't understand the traditional values.
Right. I mean, trust me. Hey, I'm not one. I'm like Snoop Dogg. We don't love these hoes. Okay. So I'm not for one. I'm not pro monogamy. I don't think that's natural. I think if we would just stop telling people what to do with their penises and their vaginas, we probably wouldn't be in this mess in the first place. But this is America, and we like to tell folks what to do with their private parts.
I don't understand why you like small government, but you want to be at folks' house. I just don't understand that. If you're gonna be small, be small.
I mean, why should we be just making a big stink about what he's doing in his private time? I mean, they said that about Bill Clinton. Well, why y'all? Whatever he did with Monica Lewinsky don't have anything to do with his ability, to. I remember that one. For him to,
And nobody can. Let me tell you something. If Barack Obama said, listen, I just want to let y'all know before I run, I'm married, but I'm a hoe. I'm going to run on that. I just want to let you, so y'all ain't even got to peep into my past. I'm just going to let y'all know y'all going to find them everywhere.
I'm a player.
He would not have won.
Can you imagine if, hey, Sandra, Lorana, can you imagine if Obama said, I got O's. I got O's in different area codes.
Sometimes letting y'all know right now, so don't even look. I'm just letting you know. You may see one on the White House lawn, just so y'all know.
Yeah, don't get upset.
They would tar and feather his ass.
I mean, they would say, because black men ain't faithful no kind of way. Arm in the dogs. I don't want no scrub, but the guy can't. We got some songs about these brothers out here. So he would just, I mean, I don't know. But so this is where we are today. I think it's just, it is the laughing stock. Sandra, you said, yep. Nixon said, see y'all, I'm out of here. Right. I thought that happened. So that's why they kind of waited to the last minute. I mean, well, after he got out of office, because Nixon kind of rigged it up where he said you can't really prosecute a president, or bring charges or whatever they call it. I'm sure some attorney is going to get in the chat and chew me out. But I think Nixon really did, kind of make it that way. But anywho, it's going down. I have not turned on the news to see what happened so far. But anyway, here it goes. America and the porn star and the church folk. This is very interesting. So anywho, before we get into our current events, we're going to wait for some more people to come into the chat. We're going to play our lovely theme song by the beautiful Miss Rachel Evans. And it is called, again, Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. So get ready. Oh, and by the way, it's available on Amazon Prime. So come on in. I'm gonna turn my little volume up on my computer. Hey, come on in, y'all. Come on.
We're gonna dedicate this to all the MAGAs. Come on now. Trump said,
make Afro hair great again.
No, Trump said, let me do your hair. Trump said, let me do your hair.
He said, I can relate to black folk. Now I know how it feels when the so-called and, y'all just getting in trouble all the time. He can relate to us. Black folks, all we do is go to jail anyway. I don't even know how somebody could part their lips say something like that. But anyway, come on in. Hey, yeah, she wearing that hat. Y'all better get that screenshot on Cheryl. Hey, if you would let me do your hair. Hey, what's up, Liv Clean? How y'all doing? Let me do your hair. I know I can't sing, but As my grandmother would say, the Lord knows my heart. Hey. Come on in, get your little Kool-Aid. Get some water in your favorite mug. Come on in. What's up, Luana? We got our virtual host in the chat. That's right, Miss Sandra E. What's up? My boss just dropped in. Come on, boss. Hey, y'all go ahead on and drop them L's. I'll be so very happy if you will let me do your hair. My homegirl Barbie would be like, be quiet, Dosha. Rest in peace, Barbie West. That's my love right there. She used to always get on me about that bad singing. But she just say, go on, girl. What's up? What's up? Hey. Everybody's loving Cheryl's hat. Come on. And let me do your hair. Hey, L for the boss. Lavina, you see all that love you're getting? Hey. All right, is that cherry hat? Okay, egg glass collection. All right now.
Thank y'all. Try.
Hey, that's sexy saxophone. Come on, let us do your hair. Come on in. This is a wonderful podcast today. We are 105 episodes in. Hey. All right. Probably one of the most beautiful songs in the world about hair. Okay, there are quite a few songs about hair, but this one by far is definitely the most beautiful song about hair. All right, and that is by the beautiful Ms. Rachel Evans. And don't forget, guys, support your indie artists, and you can go and purchase your very own copy of Sister Let Me Do Your Hair by Rachel Evans. If you are a member of Amazon's Prime, then you can get that downloaded and have it on your phone or your iPad or wherever you want. You're a P-uter like me, it's on my P-uter. So there it is. There you have it. And again, we are 105 episodes in, and tonight is going to be a wonderful discussion about hair, synthetic hair versus human hair. And so I have so many things to say about this particular topic. I can't even begin to just kind of, throw some shade up in here. But anywho, that's just how it's going down. So before we get into the topic, let's rock some of our current events. And so just fresh off the press, by the way, okay, earlier today, I text Cheryl and I said, sure, you ain't gonna believe this, right? This is what I text Cheryl. Guacamole at the Ohio State House. We were gonna have to go down and discuss not one, not two, but 3 bills regarding cosmetology and barbering. And in the last hour, they called it off. Whew. All right, let's give Ohio. Can we just give Ohio one big round of applause? Because Lord knows, I'm like, I gotta pay my rent. I got things to do. I just can't be taking off from work. But I was going, I was going to take off from work. I was going to give me a payday loan or something like that and get my butt down to Columbus. So we're so glad that is on the pause for right now. Hopefully it won't come back up. So we appreciate all the politicians for saying, you know what? let's just calm down. Let's just wait. We're gonna pause. And so big ups on the pause, and that don't know why that pause is. I'm sure it's none of my business. But for now, I'm very, very pleased to announce that we do not have to go down to Columbus in this hour. If that changes, y'all already know. I'll be on social media acting a damn fool because I don't know what the problem is with taking away the education. I could go on for days about that one. So, anywho, that was also in the news. Also in the news. Now, in case you did not know, this week. All right. Now, I am expecting something special to happen. But this week, check that out, Cheryl. It's National Hairstylist Appreciation Week. And me and Cheryl want some gifts. We don't want no cash apps. No, we want y'all to, go to the mailbox and tread and send us flowers and do all kinds of stuff. No, we're just kidding. So it's National Hairstylist Appreciation Week. So if you have a cosmetologist that you are patronizing, a hair salon, be sure to say, I appreciate you. Give them a hug or, give them a sucker or a lollipop or something just to let them know how much you appreciate them. I know a lot of people like to, it's all about the money. No, we don't all show up for money, okay? A lot of us do what we do because we love you, Sure, what motivated you to become a cosmetologist, or why you do what you do? What made you want to do this?
Two things. I love people, and my daddy made me go.
You going. I don't want to hear nothing else, okay? And I would say the same for me. I love people. And I know this is not a time. Y'all like, hey, anybody got time for love? That's what the world needs now, is love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. I mean, I made that up all by myself. So we need more love. So a lot of us do this because we love people. And so this week, I think Thursday is the official day. But if you're going in today, tomorrow, the day after, anytime this week, please make sure that you appreciate your cosmetologist, because we appreciate each and every last one of you. I know my customers. Listen, I tell mine all the time, I love you. I do all types of cool stuff, to let my customers know just how much I love them. I write them love letters. I do all types of cool stuff, okay? Next up, you guys are going to love this one, all right, Cheryl? All right, y'all get ready. Drum roll, please. All right, here's a drum roll for hair news today, current events. This is our last one, all right? Y'all know these braces I can't talk too good, all right? These is our last one, okay? Here we go. All right, there it is, straight in from the Shade Room. All right, the Shade Room got a hashtag TSR hair do's and don'ts. Go on, Shade Room. Say shows off her natural hair during her wash day. And so there she is. There was a concern that Beyonce is hair care products, but she does not show her hair. So Beyonce said, you know what? I am tired of you, Ladosha. You did that video about my hair care products. People who in her position, Cheryl, check this out, is that she's trying to show that people who wear weaves do have hair under those wigs, okay, and weaves. And I think that's a perfect place to start off. I'm even going to see if I can find that on YouTube. And that's what she's saying. She's like, you know what? I'm tired of y'all talking about people who wear weaves and their hair being messed up. For y'all information, booyah. Time to give it to you. Not under the wig flossing, but I have highlights and my hair is healthy and kilo for your information. I got my own damn hair care products. All right. So that's what Beyonce has to say. So with that being said, let's go ahead on, and we're going to hop into the topic of weaves, synthetic hair versus real hair and all this good stuff. And I think that the best place to start you know, it's from the beginning. All right. You know what? Look at Theo. You know what? Theo, he's gonna get justified while you already. Let me come back to the white field. Don't leave. All right, there you go, Theo. He says a bacteria farm. Man, listen here. I just can't. I can't. Y'all good. Y'all getting started already. Let's just go ahead on and let's start off in the beginning. All right. And I have some images here. I went to Google and I decided, you know what, let's see what happened in the beginning. All right. So Cheryl, let me just share my screen and maybe you could tell us what do we know about in the beginning when it came to these wigs. All right, guys, here we go. All right, Cheryl. So there you have it. In the beginning, wigs were worn, right, in ancient Egypt, and these are a lot of different kinds of wigs. Pretty dope wigs. Okay. So what do we need to know? Can you share anything about wigs, why they wore them? Now we're not saying other places did not wear wigs, but we're just saying how it all got started. Okay. So what were wigs all about? Do you know anything about why were our ancestors, rocking doing these types of things?
The hairs, I believe the last research that I've done in, let's just say, we call either ritual anthropology, as you would see them in even Nubia in certain cultures. Okay. But those are ritual headdresses, not everyday wigs.
Okay, so they wasn't just rocking this because they was like, we on fleek. And I ain't your ancestor, Ladosha, because I may not be nowhere near related to you, which is true. I ain't gonna lie, I probably ain't nowhere near related to no Egyptian, but it sounds good, y'all know. I'm pseudo out here, you know what I'm saying? So we know we ain't related to them. So you're saying that so these are actually ritual. Now, what type of rituals would these be?
They're headdresses. And they were not what the average everyday woman or man at that time would just wear. Okay.
Now I can go with that. Now, if anybody else in the chat has anything to share about, maybe you might know some history about these wigs, but like Cheryl said, these are not fashionable wigs. These are ritual wigs. They were probably worn by priests and priestesses, and they serve certain purposes. It wasn't just about trying to be cute. But this one right here with the Kyrie shell. The Kyrie shell. That's kind of dope. You like that Kyrie shell one?
Oh yeah. They and the more elaborate they were is to probably be attached to some ritual or celebratory purposes. But their headdress, a headdress is something you would wear to a specific event or cause or time, or even for certain classes at that particular time. I don't think that there was an everyday wig because you didn't have any hair.
Now, I don't know if this is superimposed, but this Kyrie shell, it must be significant to me just because it's smack dab in the middle. Like, you can't turn me on. Y'all remember that? Not in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. So, the Kyrie shit, they don't know nothing about that show. They don't know nothing about that.
No, they don't.
So might the Kyrie shells be significant? Do you know anything about Kyrie shells?
A cowrie is just in the recent last, I would say 200-300 years. Cowrie means shell, so you're actually saying it in terms of redundancy. You're saying shell. Cowrie.
We are so dumb. Just dumb in this country.
Yeah.
Why nobody ain't tell us that?
And I do think some cultures within, especially West Africa or maybe Ivory Coast, as you move closer to South Africa and in Senegal as well. But it was at one point used as currency. But cowrie means shell,
Wow.
so
Well,
yeah.
so maybe we should stop saying cowrie shells and just say cowrie, okay? We have learned something new. And this is why I love this podcast, because there's always something new to learn. And
No,
kind
no,
of
I'm sorry, not to interrupt you, but the only reason why I know is because I was given an 18 karat gold cowrie ring. And the Wolof, the Serer, and the Fulani used it differently, but it is a cowrie. And that's the only reason why I know.
All right. Well, we appreciate why you know, okay? All right, guys, I have to fluctuate my liquids right there, right quick. All right, so we're just gonna stop sharing that for now. And okay, so our virtual sure, everyday folk did not wear those wigs. They were worn by pharaohs or other high-ranking classes of people. So we do see that. Now, I went on ahead. I took the liberty to just kind of see if I could find just a little. Did I find it? Yeah. So I did find a little research about those wigs, and I think I hope I highlighted. Did my highlight go away? Oh, I think it did. But anywho, the research is pretty much saying the same thing. I'm just going to share it with you guys, just so you won't think Sandra is kind of making it up, because she's not. So let me share my screen again. Here we go. All right, and so here it is up here. And they are kind of saying, oh, wait, is this the right one? Oh, yeah. So here it is. Predominantly, there you is, Miss Sandra. Predominantly worn by the elite of Egyptian society, serve dual purposes. They signal high rank also, and strict social hierarchy. Okay. All right. So, and also, oh, here's a good one, Cheryl. Help protect shaven scalps of the nobility from the sun. And wigs also help maintain hygiene by reducing incidences of head lice. Very, very interesting. All right.
And to make a reference, I wanted to just make sure the conversation of those types of wigs as well. You have to also understand those wigs most likely are not pre-dynastic Egypt.
Meaning, I'm sorry, I'm from the. I ain't go to that part far.
That is the infusion of other cultures outside of the continent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So that is not pre-dynastic. Those wigs definitely have some influence of other cultures. All right. All right, Cheryl. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. All right. Okay. So now we got a little bit of that history out the way, and so now people are gonna say, you know what, they was wearing wigs back in the ancient times, and so don't be trying to women.
Yeah, that's post-dynastic.
That's post-dynastic, okay. But the reality is wigs were not worn for the reasons that we're trying to say they are today. So just be careful with that narrative, all right? So if you were not nobility and, high ranking, some type of priest or priestess, they were just not doing that for beautiful purposes, all right? Okay, what's up, Maria? Welcome to the chat. All right, so now we're going to move on. Y'all know I got some little videos up in here, all right? So we got to move to the modern day wigs, okay, and weaves and all this, that, and the third. So I think I found a video. Is it here? Let me make sure I got it. Yeah, yes, I do. There is this big concern about the human hair, right? So I have got some here. So I got some human hair, all right. I don't know. This says Remy and it says Yaki. All right. And this says human hair. So what do you know what makes this human hair? Are they cutting this? I don't want to open it up, well, because I don't want to, So, what makes this human hair? Is yaki human hair, or is it? Because I don't know a human name. I do have a good friend named Yaki. So, what makes this yaki different types of human hair?
You can go to your screen.
Yeah.
Okay, go to your screen.
All right, because I have I have a video that has another.
Well, do you guys know what a yak is?
I do not know what a yak is. Okay. And anybody in the chat, this says Yaki 10 inches. My girlfriend, her name is Yak. And I don't know who Remy is.
Okay,
but this is sensual. Okay. It's very sensual.
Well, beautiful. Okay. Let's go to Google what is a yak.
All right. So I'm going to Google. If you know what a yak is, what's up, Vaughn, the beautician? How you doing? Okay. Vaughn is fine. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Just a sucker for a fine motherfucker. I did not cuss YouTube. Don't y'all strike our video. I said I'm a sucker for a fine mother. All right, okay. So Vaughn says a type of water buffalo. Ooh, I hope not. Hold on, Vaughn. Oh, my stomach is starting to churn. This better not be true. This is the part about this podcast I don't like. So am I going to type what is a yak?
Yeah.
What is a yak animal? Okay. Oh, Lordy Jesus! Heavens to Murgatroyd! Holy smokes and gee whiz. Hold on, guys. Let me show it to you. Cheryl, you're going to have to break this down. I'm about to go get some vodka. I'll be right back while Cheryl breaks this down. Cheryl, what is this they saying here? What is this?
Oh,
God. Scared. Is this legal? I mean, I'm kind of like joking, guys. I'm not joking. I'm for real. So you're saying this hair right here that says yaki, the yak bosgrunians is a domesticated cattle species that is native to the Himalayas, like Himalayan sea salt of South Asia and Tibetan Plateau. Yaks are known as tertiary oxen. Oh my God. Grunting oxen. Oh, and the hairy cattle.
Okay, then put in what is yaki hair.
I am getting grossed out. Oh my gosh. Maybe I shouldn't have did this podcast. I don't know about this one. Okay, let me go. And you said type in what, Cheryl?
What is yaki hair?
What is sorry guys, what is yaki
hair? Okay, read it.
Okay. Okay. All right, Cheryl. Let me come back and I'm just gonna show you guys what Google says. I typed in what is yaki hair. And Google says yaki hair is for naturals who are all for maintaining a natural look for their hair, extensions, and wig. Yaki is a textured hair designed to look like chemically relaxed Caribbean or Afro-Caribbean hair. The yaki hair never comes from a single donor, but different sources. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Am I gonna? I mean, what? I'm lost. I'm just. What is this, Cheryl?
It says it's designed to look like, right? And then it says it doesn't come from one; it comes from many sources. It didn't say humans.
And y'all putting this in your hair. I don't think people know. First of all, I got a problem with Yaki is for naturals. I'm just disgusted. Come on, y'all. Wait, what is going on? Come on, LinkedIn. All of the people on LinkedIn, that's where our scholars are at, and all of our smart folk are. Okay, YouTube, all of our autodidacts, Facebooks, our gangsters. What's up? I'm confused. See, I don't know this. Why do they say it's for naturals? Can we just start with that sentence?
Well, post Good Hair, the movie. Remember they said they want the hair to look like Afro.
Yeah, I do.
So to give natural hair care people something separate, once again, always trying to separate themselves from cosmetology, because they not the regular weaved hair girl, right? This is for naturals who want to wear synthetic hair. You see how that paragraph made.
But it says human, dear. This is why I'm kind of confused. It says human hair. It doesn't mention anything about no damn water buffalo. Sorry,
yeah, dude, at the bottom.
What?
Turn it around, look at the bottom.
Bottom of what?
The package.
That's the bottom.
No, turn it around so you can read it.
It says 100% human hair.
No, look at that little white part in front, right there, in front of your face.
I'm telling you, that's what it says, Cheryl.
No, what does that part in that white part of that label in the front? What does it say?
Talk about this right here?
No, in front of you. You read it. You turn it around to your face and you read it.
It says Remy Sensual, Tangle Free Yaki, color 613, 100% human hair.
Yeah, what does the white label say? It says 100% yak. Yeah, right there. That where your finger is. That's what it say. What do it say? We'll read it.
Style Yaki 10-inch. Damn. I'm upset. I'm sorry, y'all. I am just
now you have to remember that 100% human hair is part of the title. That little white part right there says 100% Yaki.
But that's just like, who would know that? Okay. Okay, so here we go. Here's another one from other sources. Like, help me understand that, because is anybody in the chat a weave wearer? I mean, what are the sources?
So it can be a little bit of yak, a little bit of acrylic, a little bit of nylon, a couple of strands of human hair, because it only has to have 1-2 strands of human hair to be considered human hair. I don't know. And for naturals to be so label conscious, I don't know why they can't read that label.
Well, I do have a video here that's showing you. Now, this is the truth. Now, this says hair extensions. So I don't know if there is a difference between hair extensions and hair weave, but this is a little video. I'm just going to kind of scroll through it, okay? Goodness gracious, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so shocked. I don't do weave, so I don't know anything about this. So I am like, I don't even research this stuff. I'll just be honest. All right, so here we go. All right. Oops. All right.
This is the hackle. Respect the hackle.
This is Mariah. She's a master wig maker whose skill and expertise has made her a celebrity favorite.
This is what they do after they cut it off the ponytail to get that shorter hair out.
She painstakingly sews each wig by hand in a process that can take months to complete and cost as much as $15,000.
Close it off, and then there you go. And how you tie it determines the way the hair like flows and falls and parts.
She knows everything there is to know about hair, except for one thing. Where does most of the hair being sold in the industry come from?
I try to source from people who I know where it's coming from, but I don't know.
As Refinery 29's senior beauty editor, I've been on dozens of shoots and interviewed hundreds of hairstylists. Nearly every one of their kits holds the same things: flat irons, curling irons, brushes, product, and hair. But Hollywood's best-kept secret is far from new. Both Black and Orthodox Jewish communities have openly worn hair for generations. But it's just now that the popularity has exploded into the mainstream. Celebrities have opened up on social media about wearing human hair, revealing just how common wigs and extensions are on the red carpet and in everyday life.
All right, so here we go. We have these celebrities. We have these celebrity hairstylists who are like, I get the wigs and the weaves, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know where the French toasted stuff is coming from. So they are obviously they're getting it, from humans now. But according to this, you're saying that that this is a combination of everything. You, Von, and Sandra, it's like this could have, what you said, some human fiber, some yak, some other yakkies. She said oxens. Oh my God, this is disgusting. And so should we believe that all of that hair they're buying, that is actual human hair?
I don't think it really actually matters to the buyer at this point. I don't think it matters at this point. I actually do think that they are just wanting hair that is going to be there, like they want it to. And let me just say this. They wear it because, of course, their hair is not full enough or long enough. It's only two reasons why they do it. My hair is not long enough. That's why Beyonce doesn't wear it. I don't know. And I don't know what it is about proving that you have hair under a wig or weave, because you have to do the weaved hair, right?
Right. You do have to do it.
You have to do it. I don't know why they don't opt out to wear their own hair.
Well, I think that an entertainer would not wear their hair because it might sweat out, So if you're on stage, you don't want to be, Monica, she's got an afro. Ladosha started off straight.
They would get a relaxer and actually put the weave on top of the relaxer. That doesn't mean anything. My point is that, okay, you want to perform, right? And you want to wear a synthetic or you want to wear a human hair wig. That's fine. But these, you don't see them. That's one of the reasons why they have to unveil their hair to let you know that they have hair. It's because they don't wear it when they're off stage. They don't wear it.
You don't think Beyonce wears her hair off stage?
Oh, well, that means that there's no paparazzi when she does. Put it that way.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a video, right, about how I think the hype got started. But before we do that, Sandra says this juice is flowing tonight, so she needs Cheryl to show you guys what you can do to keep the juice flowing about synthetic hair versus natural hair. Here we go, Cheryl. Show them how to do it. Watch out, guys. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. All right, so all my ponytail weave wearers, all of my tracks added in, my pieces, this show to you is grossing me out. I'm telling you right now, it is grossing me out. But I think that this right here is how Black folk made weave something that we just had to have. Are you guys ready for this?
We're ready.
Here we go.
You know, there are 14,000 licensed cosmetologists in the Motor City, outnumbering doctors or dentists.
What you talking about, huh?
It's a huge business for African-American stylists. We visited an event called Fantasy Hair Wars.
With hair, it gives me a chance to really express myself and show off what I'm capable of doing.
I believe in putting on a show. I like seeing the response from the audience.
And what you get aren't hairdos, but hair art.
This is like my dedication to the '96 Olympics.
I have here is what I'm known for. It's called the zipper French roll. I have clients wear the zipper hairstyle to work, to church.
A lot of hair designers here in the city have marketed themselves to the point where they are big name hair celebrities.
Styles were even wilder.
I'm clear for takeoff and I'm on my way to Paris.
What y'all know about them hair wars coming up out of Detroit City? Now, I have never been to that one, but I have been to some hair shows that would just knock your socks off. Did you see? I see where little Kim got the Crush video with the. I said, oh, that's where she got that from. Okay, and the whole check out the bottle of hairspray coming out the zipper, and notice these were guys that were rocking these wig styles. So I think that the hype of the hair shows made weaves something that women just had to have, and he told you they wore this stuff to church, to work. So this was not a special occasion. These women wore these types of elaborate wigs. So let's get it started right there. Mr. Willie. Okay, that's his name. All right. So we got Mr. Willie with the hairy hairy copter. And see, I knew somebody. Let me give you a round of applause. I was hoping somebody was going to come through and know a little bit about that, and I just knew that was going to happen. Thank you so much, Miss Maria. So that I didn't get his name, but that's who it was. His name was Mr. Willie. And that was called the hairy copter and the zipper French roll. And those were actual hairstyles worn back in the day. So can you just kind of maybe, Cheryl, do you agree that these hair shows, maybe they did influence, we need to put us some weaves on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They did. And let me just say this. Inside of the French roll, they would take the synthetic that you use for braid extensions and roll it up and then smooth their hair around, right? That to make it real puffy, right? And it's so funny because every time Mr. Morrow would see Mr. Willie at the hair shows, they would always say, and he would tease my dad and said, "Yeah, you may be Big Willie, I'm Little Willie," right? And that's how they would make the difference. But I will say that was an era. You guys do remember big hair of the late 80s and early 90s with Patti LaBelle with the famous fan hair. It was like a fan, and that was the glamour of big hair and dries, freeze curls, all the spritz. Now, that particular movement dovetailed into a lot of respiratory issues. That was a lot of alcohol in that in those salons at that particular time. But those freeze curls and taking the Marcel and going over it and smoothing it and making that hair really hard. Now, that hair did not survive, obviously, into a lot of the middle 90s coming out of that. But that is for certain the hair wars with Dwayne Humphreys in that particular era. Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So big ups, Dwayne Humphreys. I'm sure if he wanted to, he could probably bring it back. I don't know if he's still around or not. But there you have it. So now we have, we got how it started in the beginning, which it was not about style, but it took some very innovative hairstylists out of Detroit City to take it to another level in modern day times. And now we definitely can understand also that what you think is human is not necessarily human. And at the end of the day, Cheryl says she doesn't really think consumers really care where the hair comes from, as long as it's going to give them the end results. But what I want to talk about is this one right here, okay? Now, this is openly admitted that this is synthetic hair, okay? And it's what they call, it says the same thing on both sides. Duh. Because you about the house again, George. Okay, so this is the world's first itch-free hair. Now, these were some of the concerns that people were having about when hair weaves, like they got really popular, right? So people are wearing these braids, but consumers started to really complain that their face was breaking out, their neck was breaking out, and the scalp was profusely itching and having lots of problems. So what is it about hair, synthetic hair, that made them have to make this stuff itch free? Why was it itching? I mean, it's just plastic, right?
Well, most of it's acrylic or nylon, but I want you guys to understand that synthetic hair does not have a cuticle. Synthetic hair doesn't have a cortex, so it's not going to absorb. It doesn't have any bond material, right? So it doesn't have it absorb. So you have to use very strong fabric dye, right?
Oh.
Right. And if you use fabric dye, right, fabric dye still comes with a lot of health related issues. Right, so let's just say the dangers of fabric dyes. You have some allergic reactions, which is once again we talked about anaphylaxis, which is a autoimmune reaction. Histamine causes it to, your immune system disperses histamine just to deal with the allergy or the rash or the itch, right? Or then you may have permanent reactions, contact dermatitis.
Well, now hold on, Cheryl, and you too, Theo. This says, did you see that? Is 99.9% antibacterial. It's eco-friendly. It's ultra light. It's quick dry. Tangle free. Itch free, and it is pre-stretch. So this is technology. That's
right.
Technology.
Absolutely. I mean, and not saying, but I'm addressing why would it itch? Your question.
Right. Okay.
Right. So when you research fabric dyes, they do have lots of dangers. So when you guys Google fabric dye is different than hair dye. Like for natural, for natural hair, and so right.
And so this company came up with their own technology to address the itching. The toxic. It says no phthalates, no PVC, chloride free, and it's recyclable to help fight hunger. I don't know who they feeding, but. Okay, so now we got this itching thing. So here's another video, Cheryl, that's talking about the scalp. All right, so here we go. Here we go, guys.
And first off, how does this happen? Obviously, there's the glue affecting the pores, and then over time creating this huge infection.
Well, yeah, it's the repeated trauma to the scalp, like how she mentioned. Every time you're putting the wig on and taking the wig off, you're putting traction, you're putting pulling tension onto the scalp, onto the hair follicles. And it gets to a point where you start damaging the scalp so much, you damage the hair follicles so much that the follicles start to fibrose. They just start to die out, and they're
fibrose meaning scarred.
Scarring, right? And they just kind of die out, and they slowly stop growing. And
all right, so now we're starting to see that now when Mr. Willie and them was doing the weaves, you did not see any of these scalp problems, right? So Mr. Willie and the other people, I never heard of no problems with those hair weaves. Now as it started to progress and get popular, now we see Miss Tempest, and I think she was the one, to me, the celebrity that sounded the alarm about the dangers of putting wigs on and off, braiding hair tight. I know we talked a lot about it last Thursday, but can you go into a little bit more, Cheryl, about if they had their choice, could they just put the wig? Can they glue the wig? Can they glue the tracks? Can they sew the tracks? Can they loop the tracks? Can they bond, like strand by strand? If one just had to embellish their hair, which one would you pick? And why? All right. And if you're wearing wigs in the chat or weaves or whatever, let us know what you're wearing in the chat. So which one would you say? Because Tempest said she was doing the lace front, and I'll show her story. But so let's see what she's got. I mean, what you think?
Oh, well, first of all, I don't like white people talking about black people. That's number one.
You know what?
That's number one. And then to boot, white males or other races of people talking about black people's problems.
All right. Hold on.
Now you notice the black doctor corrected him.
Wait a minute. Now hold on.
What you talking about, Will?
Now, sure, is that discrimination? What are you saying?
No, don't get on TV saying dumb shit. Okay.
What they say?
The black doctor had to correct him. Okay. He said scarring. Now, Tempest had pre-existing conditions. That's number one. Number two, she had other issues beside wigs. The wigs or weaves, okay, exacerbated it. Okay, there is no weave or wig. If you have healthy follicles, okay, nothing on the outside affects the inside of your follicle. Okay, so that doctor just made that shit up. Okay,
ow! Shut the front door. Are you serious? Let me play it again. Hold on. Wait a minute, Cheryl. You ain't gonna have, because I believe this.
Right. Now listen to how dumb he sounds.
All right, hold on, y'all. Sandra, all in the chat, co-sign. Look, I got me itching. Y'all that made me nervous.
And first off, how does this happen? Obviously, there's the glue affecting the pores, and then over time, creating this huge infection.
Well, yeah, it's the repeated trauma to the scalp. Like how she mentioned, every time you're putting the wig on and taking the wig off, you're putting traction, you're putting pulling tension onto the scalp, onto the hair follicles. And it gets to a point where you start damaging the scalp so much, you damage the hair follicles so much that the follicles start to fibrose. They just start to die out, and they're
fibrose meaning scarred.
Scarring, right? And they just kind of die out, and they slowly stop growing. And
totally wrong.
Okay, let me back it up. Hold on. He said the glue is gone.
No. The white doctor, the white boy, the first one, is trying to help his ass out. Okay? He says, is there a liquid? That's what he meant. The glue, because he knows that it's not just enough that there's something laying on your head. It's going to make your follicles degenerate. He knows that. Okay? So now listen. The other medical doctor, which is the hair restoration doctor, starts describing some allegoric bullshit that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay? The black doctor. The black doctor had to help him out by saying, "Oh, you mean scarring?" Okay, now, but scarring alopecia is not only that is a systemic in combination. Now, your hairline coming out could be a consistent pulling. Okay, and I told you that the hairline alopecia is not the same as the center and the back on the sides and front. I keep telling y'all that. But because black people put their trust in that stupid ass doctor, okay? Now the other ones tried to make sense with some glue, at least trying to make it make sense a little bit, okay? But he just says, and it just keeps on, and eventually it just stops growing. If that was the case, now let me ask you a question. Y'all ain't never known no black man, no white man, no Mexican man, no Asian man that wore a toupee and all of a sudden the rest of his shit just stopped working. Okay? They wore toupees because it was already bald. I believe that Tempest issue is, of course, and because there is no specialty, because trichologists do not get to examine black women's health in a petri jar, in a separateness of their issues, their health issues, their weight issues, their hormonal issues, their endocrine system issues, their stress issues, their thyroid issues, their thymus issues, their immune system issues, their cortisol issues. They do not put those things in a separate bracket. And then when they go in, because when I see a hair restoration doctor, he's 9 times out of 10 a male restoration hair doctor and not a female, okay, specialty. But kudos to the other doctor. He tried to lead his ass into something that made sense right there. He didn't take it. The black guy tried to correct him and say scarring, because that is when the...
But it's fibrosis. Did that mean scarring?
Fibrosis is once again, an inflammation issue, and that is systemic. It is not from putting something on the outside and causing fibrosis. It does not happen. And I don't give a shit because I teach the damn doctor. I am the doctor's teacher. He got that shit wrong. And if he was my student, I would get his ass and go in there. Let's practice that shit again and stop talking about you. Well, and all of these, he didn't even freaking know what to say. And he was sounding stupid. But most hair restoration MDs, they like goddamn dermatologists. And make sure that you guys understand, dermatologists and hair restoration dermatologists, cosmetic surgeons, and things of that nature that deal with just, light skin, they are laughed at by other medical doctors.
Oh, Cheryl, I just crushed the fake gold.
He is a hair restoration specialist. He did go to a level of medical school, so he does have the right to use MD. But he screwed that one up. He did.
All right. Well, we're going to give
now, play it over with all of my commentary. Play that shit again and listen to his dumb ass.
All right. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to get some super
cosmetologists.
Y'all
hear that shit again.
All right. Here we go, customers and cosmetologists. I'm going to play it again. Whew. Okay, here we go. One more again. Here we go.
And first off, how does this happen? Obviously, there's the glue affecting the pores, and then over time, creating this huge infection.
Well, yeah, it's the repeated trauma to the scalp. Like how she mentioned, every time you're putting the wig on and taking the wig off, you're putting traction, you're putting pulling tension onto the scalp, onto the hair follicles. And it gets to a point where you start damaging the scalp so much, you damage the hair follicles so much that the follicles start to fibrose. They just start to die out, and they're
fibrose meaning scarred.
Scarring, right? And they just kind of die out, and they slowly stop growing. And
I mean, it sounds, I would have believed it, y'all. I would have went for the doctor. He sounded real foxy with the pulling and the scarring and the sore. But before I show the last video, I do have a video with Tempest. She did, show this. Super duper shout out to our virtual co-host, Miss Sandra is in the chat. She's all like the hair oracle speaker. What's up, Miss Angie Mitchell? Welcome. It's so nice to have you join us. Anytime we see someone new or it's been a long time, I'd like to give you a big round of applause. And you look absolutely beautiful in your photo. So what's up? What's happening? Beautiful Miss Angie. LB, my homegirl LB. Maria, what's happening? Live, work, clean. How you doing? My BFF represent ATL is in the chat. My boss, L. Joes. Lavina is in the chat. Live, work, clean. We had Theo. And then, of course, we had the young man, Mr. Vaughn, was also Vaughn, the beautician, is also in the chat. So we're very, very excited to have all of you join us this evening as we're talking about synthetic hair versus natural hair. And we're starting to realize, Cheryl is pointing out that some folk just don't know what the French toast and bologna sandwich they're talking about. Me, I feel like Rick James. I'm just a sucker. I was believing on y'all. He had me going. Well, okay, so here's our last video. And this is Tempest sharing with us her take of what happened to her hair.
Stylist introduced me to front lace wigs and I fell in love with them immediately. You have a full hairline. I was wearing it 24/7. 5 years later, the drama came in. The red flag was the oozing from my ears, from my forehead, the whole nape around my head, the pus. It had a horrible smell. It was painful. I let this go by for 6 months. What I didn't realize was I had a bad reaction to the glue that I used to apply the wig. So my hair started falling out.
Now, let me just say this to you. Now, all of those problems do not happen overnight. Okay.
And she said 6 years.
No, it takes a little less time than 6 years. But let's say you have a professional doing your hair, right? Not your cousin, not your auntie.
And drop your questions in the chat, by the way.
Right. So let's just say, I would probably say she smelled something first. That means that there's trapped what? Sweat. She said she wore it 24/7. Okay. So now we got 24/7. She has odor. Then she has, I'm sure she had scalp discomfort. Way before she saw wound healing. What I told you guys last Thursday, right? Wound healing. We went through pus, right? Pus is white blood cells, and that is an autoimmune response. Okay, we did.
Theo called it. He said
okay.
it. So.
Okay, now, but that happens. That happens way before 6 years. So whoever was doing her hair has to make sure. Now you have to remember, why was she wearing this? And that's one thing we were talking about when you first started with the ancient wigs and things of that nature, right? Okay, now. When you have, exactly, but it's a fungus, okay, which means dark, wet, hot, dark, warm, wet. That is where the odor comes from, okay? That's the discoloration. These conditions happen so much sooner than 6 years. Then why didn't her hairstylist say you cannot wear this until you get your scalp, because the scalp is always trying to wound heal. Okay.
So let me just interject. Okay. So it's the odor per Theo and per Vaughn. It's 2 parts. So is the odor like the beginning of like red alert, because could it be that it is a bacterial farm? Can you explain that? Explain. He said mold, but then you have Beyonce who wears a wig all the time, and she doesn't look like she has any of what Tempest has experienced. And she proudly says she wants to debunk the myth that what Tempest is experiencing, that is not the case. So can you just walk me through how do people know when there's a danger? Because hair smell,
right. You have to remember
that odor is, baby.
Well, one of the reasons why there are a lot of fragrances in hair products that is very early 20th century when we started doing that. Okay. And you can see in one of the things that our ancestors did on the plantation was to offset fungus. And we, people have mold is not a really good, mold is toxic.
Oh.
Okay. That's number one. Number two, it's not quite a bacteria. Okay. Because it's not coming from a living source. Okay. Now,
so bacteria has to come from a living source.
No, well, dead. It can come from a dead source. What I am saying to you is that something fungal because of the water, right?
Now, that would be her sweat when she said.
However, what causes odor under your arms is not the same odor when you have something covered.
Really?
It's not quite the same because your armpits are in air all the time. So it is the odor under your arms. What do we call musty? Okay, that's a different odor from sour. It's not quite the same. Okay, now then fungus will begin to discolor.
Pause. When you say begins to sour, is this the Beyonce pat your weave? Is that the?
Yes, no. Well, it can but it doesn't necessarily have to be a fungus itch. It doesn't have to be because it's been on for 6 months. She said she wore it 24/7. Okay. Now, Beyonce could be concert touring. It could be on stage hair. She could very well not wear her hair, wear those when she's not touring or when she's not on stage.
And that's what Sandra just. Thank you, Miss Sandra. Okay.
Okay. So at the end of the day, she blow dries her hair, make sure her scalp gets some kind of heat and you know what I mean? But to offset that during the plantation, what do we use? To offset the fungus issue, what did we use?
Okay, to offset the fungus issue on the plantation, let's take a stab at it, guys. We got a few minutes. We're doing pretty good here. What do we think our ancestors did on the plantation to offset the itch? Right? No, the smell.
The fungus issue.
The fungus issue. Okay, Monica says sulfur. I was gonna say they just. Well, I know they couldn't wash it. Oh, I'm so colonized. Or a head scarf. Maybe they put oil. Maybe they put oil on the scalp. So I'm gonna say they maybe use some type of a hair grease or maybe an oil on the scalp. Everybody, Kim T, the stylist, you guys got some great answers. We got sulfur. We have a head scarf. I'm saying oil on the scalp. So these are looking pretty good. So,
okay. Your ancestors put oil. Okay.
For once in my life, I got something right.
Oil, grease, axle grease, sulfur.
Okay, we're all right.
Right. But if it's in a form of a grease, why did they do that?
Okay, Monica, I'm gonna turn it over to you and Kim. I have blonded my hair with your stupid power. So why did they use those? Is that what you said?
Right. Why wouldn't you put oil?
Why would they put oil on the scalp? I guess to kind of like if you're
to kill the fungus, because the fungus is kept alive by the water.
Okay.
So if you put oil on it, it kills because it robs anything. See, oil can't kill bacteria because it doesn't feed off of air. Anything that feeds off of water. That's why when you say, is there a life on a planet? If there's no water, there's no life. Okay. So how to stop things from growing. That's why when you have a toenail fungus, if it's not a bacteria, right? So you can't kill it you have to kill it with an antibiotic, or you know what I mean, or virus. Things that
and we're kind of mixing terminology up here. We're mixing mold, fungus, bacteria.
Right. It's not a bacteria. It's not a mold. Okay. Fungus just has to have water. Okay. So
can we let me throw up Dewey's thing, because she says to keep the moisture in.
No, this is not a moisture issue. You don't want no moisture when you are dealing with fungal issues. You don't want no water when you are dealing with people who have locks, natural hair, who have really matted, wet, warm, and you open up and it's a sour smell. You don't want no water, no moisture at all. Okay. To kill that, you need to make sure that the surface is powder dry, so the wound healing process can come and regraft the skin area there. If it's left wet, the wound healing will never graft the skin if it's left wet. So you have to fix that issue. You have to make it completely dry, adjust the pH. Now, mold is a certain pH. Fungus is a certain pH. Okay, bacteria is a certain pH. Once you understand that, then you know how to get rid of it, right? You have a foot fungus. What do? The foot fungus medicines, as you can always see, especially if they're topical or a tincture, they're oil. They're oil based all the time.
Okay? This is true. Now, 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 Miss Angie is saying that at the end of the day, as we wrap this up, and you guys have been, again, as always, you're absolutely wonderful. The chat is looking pretty full. So come on, y'all, and hit the thumbs up button. Y'all watching, all you got to do is just slide your thumb over. There's no reason why you can't show Cheryl and I some love. We're giving you this wonderful knowledge. Sandra's in the chat saying we're breaking it down. So let's talk about Angie Mitchell's statement. And she said, you guys can wear these weaves. You can wear these wigs. You can wear these braids. You can put all this stuff in your hair. You can have lots and lots of fun, and you can embellish to your heart's content. But she says, you know what? It's all about proper maintenance. So, Angie, can you just drop in, if you're still in the chat, some examples of proper maintenance? But while we're waiting for her to respond, is maintenance really going to help people who are just staunch with these weaves, these braids, these faux locks, all of this stuff? Is proper maintenance really the key?
I would agree, but the key here is to make sure that you have the proper maintenance to offset that problem. Okay. Because if you're washing it and then it keeps occurring and you never get rid of the fungus, you never deal with what's going on in her hairline. And if you never deal with her specific issues that her hairstylist failed her. Okay. Because if she was my client, she would have been out of those things earlier. Okay.
But you do have people who say, I cannot come out of the weave. They think their hair is too thin, too flat, and they just can't. So for people who just like,
She did.
No, I'm just saying, no, for real, Cheryl.
No. Eventually, she did. She did it under unfortunate situation. She did for a while. She had to. So
can people wear wigs and weaves indefinitely with their hair? I mean, we're not talking about people who, bald or whatever. But I mean, people.
No, I'm not. We're not asking. See, here we go again. As cosmetologists and barbers and hair and barber professionals, we're not asking people to do something that they do not want to do on a permanent basis. My goal here is for you when you get into a dilemma and it becomes completely out of control, like Tempest, right? That was out of control, been out of control to the point where at that point, even her own cosmetologist / stylist, if she ever was one to begin with, or he to begin with, they did not have the education or the savviness or the information or the skill set to stop her when it was just a little problem, okay? Or just a little happenstance or just a little condition. They could not stop her because they thought, what? You could just wash it away and re-put it on. Wash it away and re-put it on. Wash it away and re-put it on. It was never about that. And so like Miss Mitchell says, if you have proper maintenance for that, don't maintain her like she like me or you. Maintain her like she is a consistent lace front wearer. That comes with a different set of maintenance. That has nothing to do with how I would do maintenance or you would do maintenance. That is completely different. And you have to treat her and you have to make sure you're always adjusting. She may have to come to the salon maybe twice a week because she is. Now, of course, is it expensive? As hell. Because
it is. I mean, people are
getting it off and putting it back on. And if she would have done that, she made enough money to do that. And if she understood, if she did not do it, okay, then she got all of the what? The contact dermatitis. She also got the pustules. She also got the complete pulling, the traction issues, okay, and weight issues, okay.
But then the doctor said that. He said that she had traction issues.
Now, the point, the way he described it is that traction. Traction is just another word, like alopecia is another word for hair loss. Traction is just tension. But tension doesn't happen with coming on and coming off. Tension happens with wearing it 24/7.
What you say? Girl, you know what? You're going to have these weave wearers very upset. I have never heard that. And as soon as you said that, Miss Angie said consequences. Wow.
It's almost like this. I guarantee you, and you guys have seen it. Come on, people. You have seen black men who wear hats all the time. Okay? You know people who do something all the time to their hair. It looks like they do that all the time to their hair. Okay? You can see stress points. You can see where hair had broke off. You can see when someone, and that's why when you see me all the time, I'll have a high ponytail, low ponytail. I'll even switch it from even side to side. And at the end of the day, all the scalp has to shoulder the same weight. Okay. And I guarantee you, if I sit here and keep scratching this and just keep doing this with no nails, and I just keep doing it for hours, what is my body going to say?
Stop.
It's going to give it red, soreness, feeling, hotness, inflammation, red. It's going to react to you at some point and tell your dumb ass to stop. And then after that, if you don't stop, it will show you.
Well, people who swear by your weaves, and I know professional women, I see them, on the news. They're definitely like your motivational speakers, for sure, your doctors, your attorneys. There are some people, they feel like some jobs they still are not allowed, unfortunately. And then some people just don't feel comfortable. And then, like Cheryl said, it's just a preference, which we're not trying to force you, but you do have to keep in mind, per Miss Angie. Angie, is your expertise hair additions that you have to watch out for the consequences, because there are consequences with those weave. And Sandra pointed out too that Beyonce is not doing what Tempest did. Okay, so if you love those weaves, you got to be careful. So Monica says she watched the reel from today called The People's Perspective. The topic was Black women buy Indian hair, someone else's hair. But if a Black woman was to cut off her tresses, who would buy it? So can I cut my hair off? And is our hair resellable? Is that possible?
Let me say this. Oh, let me ask you a question. Let's say a Black woman cut her hair off, and an Indian woman wants locks. Would she buy her shit, or would she buy a Black woman's? So that's and I don't know what reel that was, and let me also say, they did buy your hair maybe 500 to 1,000 years ago. Europe has always loved Afro textured hair longer than they have. The white beauty straight hair standard is actually modern. It's only maybe 200-300 years old. Every other subsequent Black African has always wanted that hair was almost beloved. That was beloved longer. Now, just because we are in modern time, it is wrought with racism, it's wrought with second classism, it's wrought with genderism, it is wrought with a lot of other mistreatment. I get it. But in 18th, 19th century, 20th century, that shit, 18th, 16th century, they was in love with some Black folks' hair. Everybody was curling they shit, okay? But and I understand how certain reels want to twist, but at the end of the day, okay, so let's just say no one's buying it now. It's out of vogue, but the intention of that particular reel, I want us to be careful, because it's these reels and social media, they're really designed to give you a skew, kind of out of context kind of perspective, because at the end of the day, you go look at contemporary art of the 17th century, European art of the 17th century, they're wearing your shit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that is a little bit,
yeah.
Right, so that's a little bit of propaganda, or is it just kind of,
I don't know if it's propaganda.
Well, I'm sorry, they're slanting.
Yeah, right. It's shade.
Okay. So when you see stuff like Monica's statement, okay, she says she saw this reel, and the topic was that Black women buy Indian hair, someone else's hair. But if a Black woman were to cut off her tresses, would they buy it? And so Cheryl is saying, watch those types of reels, because they're putting a slant. And the reality is that they wore and bought our hair many years longer than what we see now in the past.
And I don't know if it was a market. I don't know if there was such industry. But all I know is that when you're curling up your hair, the early centuries in the Greek era, in the Roman era, look at their statues, look at their picture books, look at their art. Their hair is so thick and woolly that you know that they shit did not look like that.
Right. Well, she's saying that what their point was is that we don't love ourselves, but we
Exactly. And see, and this comes from a Black man who's already skewed to be out of context. Little does his Black ass know that Black men straighten their hair 20, 30 years before Black women did. And they did it commercially, and they did it for the same goddamn reasons: to get money, to be loved, to be able to be in a higher class. They did it for the same shit and probably even worse. Okay, now talking about that, and I did that in the San Diego Monitor News, is a history of straight hair. The history of straight hair got 50 years, but maybe about 30, I would say 35 to 50 years before Black women even did it. They did it for the same reason. They did it to fit in. They did it to be loved. They did it for the same goddamn reasons. They did it exactly, Monica. Assimilation, to be Motown. You've seen the Temptations. Okay, at least Black women wore wigs. They were not relaxing their hair. Relaxing it maybe came as an industry, maybe late 80s. It was press and curl. Okay, or maybe mid 70s. But no one wants to get the story right, because of course Black men are using these things to demonize Black women once again, which is a whole nother issue, and I don't want to get into it, but I do correct them on that.
Yeah. Well, that's a juicy topic, because next month is Mental Health Month, so we're going to get ready to go ahead and wrap this up. Angie, I like your statement. She just says to everybody, the problem that she's seeing is that the professional women who wear those wigs and weaves, that they actually hold on to these styles too long, yielding the same result as tempters. And that's what Cheryl was saying, is that we're not here to say yay, nay. We're most certainly not into judging. I love the whole weaves thing. The only thing that I don't like about the weave is just the confusion that somehow, if you embellish your hair, that it is a natural style. And I do find that word natural hairstyle, it plays on the psyche of the consumer, and they will leave that hairstyle in. To Miss Angie's point, they will leave that hairstyle in for a longer period of time because of the word natural. Now, like Cheryl said, you are getting some signs early on that it's not so natural. But to me, professionally, I feel that the word natural hairstyles, we need to come up with a new word, because it does play on the consumer psyche. So, Miss Angie, welcome. We hope that all of you will come back on Thursday. We're going to have a real live natural hairstylist. She works here with me at the Reverence Design Team Hair Salon. Her name is Kristen Smith. And so she's going to share with us her experience from the Afro Hair Science Summit and how it helped her avoid some of the mistakes that Tempest stylist was not able to really get her out of that, and should have been able to see some of those things early in advance. So she is going to be here with us at 10 o'clock. So get your questions ready. And now we won't be back here Monday at 6, because I'll be in Indianapolis giving a presentation on the plight of Afro hair. I did put my business out up here in these streets. I'll just show you again in case you're wondering why. Key Lolo, why won't you be here? Because it's official. I am a part of the 2023 Indiana Humanities Advancing Racial Equity Speakers Bureau. And so here is my topic. It's on the plight of Afro hair. I'm going to be speaking to both the faculty and the students. So I won't be here. We won't be here on Monday, but Monday afternoon, I think I'll have enough time. So anywho, we'll be back the following Monday, but Thursday, we are going to be here with Miss Kristen Smith. So get your questions ready. You guys have been just absolutely phenomenal. Vaughn, the beautician, says, These styles are time consuming, and he think that they should rather be used to add volume or thickness for like people who have alopecia customers. So you got to just be very discriminating is what the experts are saying. Don't just put this stuff on your hair, leave it in, and watch out for those words like natural. And then like Cheryl says, some of those narratives, you guys, because they just want the money. I hate to say it, but it's true. How do you want to wrap this up, Cheryl? Because this was a lot. I'm kind of queasy over the Vaughn. You effed me up with that yak, bro. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that one. How do we close this out? This was a lot.
Right. Well, I think continue to talk to each other, and to make sure that we clarify things, and we know what we're looking at. But I do think that I wish that Miss Tempest and other clients could get a hold of some real cosmetologists who definitely know what they're doing, and not look to the doctors and other people who are just not appropriate. I don't give a shit if they got MD at the end of their name or not, if they're not familiar with the culture of weaves. See, the culture of weaves is so much more important because we know what they're going to do and not do, why they're doing it, and for what reasons. And so we have to create a program that is conducive to make sure that their scalp remains healthy, their hair remains healthy. But most important,
I think a lot of companies and cosmetologists and, medical people, they do miss the culture. I do, even with myself. And I struggle. And Vaughn, you don't have to apologize because, bro, I tell you, I don't know anything about weaves. I mean, I know, I thought I knew what a yak would apparently. I didn't know what a yak, and that's our job. We have to know what this stuff is because Cheryl is letting us know that, consumers are trusting us. And if we just kind of let things just slide on by, we're not being the best professional that we could be. And so I could do better, as I've learned today. And like you said, this was fire. I agree with you 100%. And so with that, Cheryl, I got to give you another one because you dropped the bomb. Round of applause. Also to everybody in the chat, we appreciate your support so much. Vaughn, come back and join us. Plus, you look so fine. Like I said, I'm a sucker for a fine mother. I didn't say it, Vaughn. I didn't say it. I was about to, but I didn't. All right. Yeah. So our virtual co-host says the podcast was fire. So we will be back here on Thursday, and you get a chance to really pick the brain of an actual. Well, they're not licensed. They are permit holders. So she has a permit, if you will, to work in a hair salon and braid and lock and twist. And so we'll be able to pick her brain and ask more questions. And I'll have some more wonderful videos. And I think that's it, right, Cheryl?
I wanted to just make sure that I invite you guys to watch this morning's podcast about re-entering and upskilling, which like upskill your skills, and reskilling as in reskilling your skills. And it just has a lot of other wonderful stuff for people entering or just came back to the industry or as thinking about leaving and something else. But I want to encourage everybody to check that one out.
It was powerful. I will drop that link in the chat once it becomes available, just in case you're like, I can't find it. So it takes a few minutes.
Find it on my page, or you can find it. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're on Facebook, you can just go right over to Cheryl's page or my page, and you can watch it. If not, give StreamYard a couple of hours so we can get everything up. In the meantime, we want you guys to be on the lookout for the Afro Hair Science Summit 24. It's coming to Cleveland. Our topics are going to be mastering texture, color principles, salon suite versus salon business. And so be on the lookout. Again, the Afro Hair Science Summit is going to happen again in Cleveland, Ohio. So all you professionals, hair lovers, barbers, come on and join Cheryl and I. It's absolutely an event you do not want to miss. All right. Okay, guys, you know what we say on this particular podcast when we're signing out, right? We're always talking about for sure, a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and most certainly a whole lot of hair. But check it out. Remember, if you ain't got none, don't want none, can't stand it, hell, you plan on cutting it off because I'm just sick of it after this podcast. You know what we say? Don't worry about that, because all of that's beautiful too. Bald head, bald patches, alopecia areata, alopecia, whatever you want to call it. All of that is beautiful too, and so are you. Cheryl, please continue to be phenomenal. Stay here with us, because we need your expertise to help us navigate through this. I'm behind the chair every day, and today I have just been blown away with the massive amount of knowledge that goes into hair weave, and from the hair to the technique to the scalp. I mean, Jesus Christ, it just gets bigger and bigger. So please stay here with us. We most certainly need you. Okay. She said peace. All right, guys. See you on Thursday at 10 o'clock p.m. with Christian Smith. Sure, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming, get our check.
Cheryl, Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed you. Hey! It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.